day, viewers, and welcome to another episode of Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. Here we bring you the news, events, and stories abound in the state system. ATN's appetite for in-depth, unbiased, and factual reportage is the driving principle for this program in order to bring government activities to the doorstep of the people. We'll go to the highlights of today's reports. In the headlines: police arrest kidnappers and recover guns and ammunition in Kaduna State. Lagos Assembly approves reordering of 2024 budget. NNPCL blames hike on Forex. President Tinubu discloses new price and availability date for petrol. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll go straight into the details. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now to the summary of the stories. Analysts have faulted the Port Harcourt Federal Constituency over the unethical conduct of its representative against practicing journalists in the state. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Open Conversation, a political analyst, Lekon Ojo, expressed dissatisfaction over the professional profiling of its representative.
I blame it all on the constituent. And I doubt if the profile Honorable Blessing Amadi very well before she was voted to that office. Because a lot of persons, they do not know that when they vote you in to be member of State House of Assembly or House of Rep or Senate, a lot of them do not know that they are just a proxy representing the.
In view of good leadership and representation, Lekon Ojo tasked representatives to be lawfully active in delivering dividends of democracy to the people's mandate.
If
you are sleeping in the House of Reps, that means your constituency is sleeping. If you are a dumb member, that means your constituency is dumb. If you are misbehaving, that means your constituency is misbehaving. And the onus lies on the people to quickly call you to order. And people need to really ask you, what have you done? Some members of House of Reps will be maybe presenting bill 4 or 5. Some are just.
This is coming as the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Rivers State Council, had condemned an alleged verbal attack by a member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Blessing Amadi. Lagos State government has extended its work from home policy for its workers for the next 3 months. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu approved the extension in a circular signed by the state head of service, Bode Agoro. He said the decision was aimed at reducing the effect of the removal of the subsidy on the workers. Sanwo-Olu, who disclosed this, said the policy made positive impacts on workers' productivity in the various ministries, departments, and agencies of the state government, adding that the initiative was to cushion the effects of the prevailing harsh economy on workers. Analyst has condemned the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on the work from home initiative of the state. They have commended, Speaking on Atlantic television network program Atlantic Blowout, a political analyst, Kie, said the Lagos State government has always been on the lead on contemporary initiatives in the public service.
The Lagos State government in most instances has been a very exemplary when it has to do with governance and leadership. And I'm not surprised for this kind of gesture again. You know, wisdom is very profitable. The Lagos when we learn to leverage on the opportunities that we have and also kill the slavery mentality of workers, as in the employer or.
In a different story, Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency has shut down several establishments in the Alausa, Ikeja, Ogba, Surulere, Yabo Sabo, Ebute Meta, and Shomolu areas of the state over violations of environmental laws. The agency made the disclosure in a post via its X handle on Thursday. The general manager, Dr. Babatunde Ajayi, said the agency's commitment to strict enforcement of laws is to ensure businesses must recognize their environmental responsibilities and collaborate with the state government to ensure a noiseless, cleaner, and more sustainable Lagos State. The enforcement operation underscores LASEPA's dedication to maintaining Lagos State status as a leading hub of excellence and a peace setter committed to the clean environment for the residents. The government has denied the trending reports on social media which claimed that the Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Mr. Goodluck Ubochi, has resigned. Recall that Ubochi was sworn in 2 weeks ago by Governor Alex Oti in a release signed by Ferdinand Ekioma, the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the Governor. The state government described the news as false, unfounded, and baseless, accusing the members of a faction of the PDP party in the state and other recruited members of being behind the resignation report. Ekioma added that the commissioner and his family were embarrassed by the fake information which spread across the internet. Quoting him, "I was shocked and embarrassed by the report, which is false. Even my wife has called me and she was very embarrassed, but I told her it's false. The speaker was the first that alerted me and a lot of persons have called me, but I've told them that the report is completely false," he quoted the commissioner as saying. The special advisor raised the alarm at the rate of fake news being reported by the state government by the alleged members of the opposition. The general public are therefore enjoined to look at any news reports emanating from the opposition with suspicion and caution, he concluded. Moving on, Edo State Ministry of Health has declared cholera outbreak in the state on Thursday after confirming 6 cases of the disease so far. The Director of Public Health in the ministry, Dr. Stevenson Ojefo, who disclosed this during a news conference in Benin, said the 6 confirmed cases were identified among the 40 suspected cholera cases recorded to date in the state. He disclosed this while awaiting the results, while the patients were managing in accordance with cholera management protocols, adding that 3 of the confirmed cases were from Ego, 2 from Ihunwande, and 1 from Ikboba, Oka local government area. He advised against self-medication while urging individuals experiencing watery stools and diarrhea to seek hospital treatments, and also encouraged the public to stay calm, as well as practice good hygiene and sanitation, and promptly report any suspected cholera cases to the relevant authorities. Lagos State government has empowered 200 retiring civil servants with life skills and economic support. Speaking at the closing ceremony of the 4-week training program, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Bolaji Dada, said the retirees who came from across Lagos were trained in various vocational skills. The skills include makeup and headgear stoning, catering, throw pillow making, paint production, soap making, hairstyling, event planning, and decoration. They are also equipped with startup packs to aid their economic relief and self-reliance and transport fare during the ceremony held at the Women Development Center Agege, and encouraged the participants to fully leverage the skills they had acquired and to make a significant impact in the communities. The Permanent Secretary of WAPA, Oluyemi Kole-Sanwo, praised the retiring civil servants for their willingness to adapt, learn and embrace new skills, noting that their resilience and courage were exemplary, and also expressed appreciation to Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Dada for their support. Do not forget that we are open for advert placements, bookings and commercials. You can connect with us and watch us on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X, formerly known as Twitter, Atlantic TV/net, which is live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. In Kaduna State, police has arrested 11 suspected kidnappers and recovered a cache of arms and large sums of money during the operation across the state. In a statement on Thursday, the command spokesperson, Assistant Superintendent of Police Masir Hassan, said the arrests were linked to the kidnapping of a district head on 14th August 2024, who was released 2 days later. Hassan added that police operated in collaboration with local hunters raided 3 villages in the Lere local government area, resulting in the arrest of 5 suspects and recovery of a fabricated single-barrel gun, a vehicle, a motorcycle, and several mobile phones. In a separate operation, 6 additional suspects were arrested at a motor park, leading to the recovery of 4 fabricated AK-47 rifles, 2 English pistols, 2 pump-action guns, and a significant sum of money. The police also apprehended a suspected bandit at a hotel in the Tafa area of Kagarko local government. The suspect confessed to the involvement in cattle rustling and kidnapping. The State Commissioner of Police, Audu Dabidi, commended the operatives for their bravery and urged the public to continue cooperating with the police to rid the state of criminals. Hassan described the arrest and recoveries as a major milestone in the ongoing fight against kidnapping and banditry. The fight against those crimes which have plagued Kaduna State in recent times. The statement read, in connection with the kidnapping of a district head on 14th August 2024, who was released on 16th August 2024, police operatives in Saminaka, in collaboration with local hunters, raided 3 villages in the local government area named Maraban Wasa, Gorazan Hakimi, Miriam, and Abudum Karma. 5 suspects were arrested, including Abubakar Bakar Elias Bala, 30 years old, Danjuma Luka Elias Uba, 25 years old, Ayuba Simon, a 50-year-old, and Ide Saleh, a 57-year-old. Exhibits recovered included a fabricated single-barrel gun, a green golf car, a Bajaj motorcycle, 8 mobile phones. Quoting him, on the 2nd of September 2024 at about 9 p.m., police operatives acting on incredible intelligence laid an ambush at a motor park, leading to the recovery of 4 fabricated AK-47 hidden with consignment. 6 suspects were arrested the following morning at about 5:10 a.m. Lawal Mortala Isa Kabiru, Awal Suraju, Kamala Lawal, Umar Adamu, and Kabiru Laiman. Recovered items included 4 fabricated AK-47 rifles, 2 English pistols, 2 pump-action guns, 24 cartridges, and 24 rounds of live ammunition of various calibers, assorted charms, a walkie-talkie, an axe, and a sum of 908,600 naira in cash. On the 3rd September 2024 at about 10 p.m., police received credible intelligence about a suspected bandit staying at a hotel in Tafa area, Agako. A patrol team arrested Yahaya Yusuf, a 41-year-old male from Kabo Village, Gurara, local government area, Niger State. He confessed to an involvement in cattle rustling and kidnapping in Niger and Kaduna states. A mobile phone was recovered from him. The Commissioner of Police called on the public to continue cooperating with the police and assured that efforts to combat criminal activities in the state would be intensified. Federal government has said only those with duly registered national identification numbers, which is the NIN, will be allowed to purchase as it flags off the sale of 30,000 metric tons of milled rice. President Bola Tinubu, who was represented at the flag-off by the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, said the move was to curb racketeering and crash the price of foods in Nigerian markets. Kyari noted that the intervention will be sold strictly 1 man to 1 bag or 1 woman to 1 bag. He said the rice, which is to be sold at a flat rate of 40,000 naira, only for 50 kg rice, is the federal government intervention for the sales of subsidized milled rice to ameliorate the prevailing food crisis in Nigeria. This food intervention can be said to be timely considering the times and challenges we are in as citizens of this great nation. As one of the numerous efforts of the present administration to cushion the effect of high cost of food commodities, kindly join me to applaud the immense efforts of the present administration, such as the release of 42,000 MT of assorted food commodities to vulnerable and the 30,000 of milled rice, which is being flagged off for sales to Nigerians today, 5th September 2024, which was yesterday. The minister blamed COVID-19, the Russian-Ukraine war, climate change, amongst other localized factors and challenges for the high cost of food prices. This has led to the increased concern and risk of food insecurity and general decline in standard of living globally. I therefore urge us to understand that the present challenges are not peculiar to our great nation, he said. He also added that the federal government, being aware of the potential challenges associated with the sales of an important staple such as rice, at this critical period has deployed a multidisciplinary machine for government, as well puts in place certain processes and conditions to ensure the transparency, wider reach, and success of this exercise. Quoting him, this includes 1 kg of rice. Others are the verification of intended beneficiaries using relevant identification mediums, such as the identification number and phone numbers to forestall multiple access to the food commodity by fraudulent individuals at the detriment of other citizens, he said. He implored citizens to cooperate with the relevant citizens to achieve the initiative. He said, "Let us work together to ensure that the dream of the present administration to uphold the fundamental right to food for all Nigerians is achieved. It is expected that the injection of 30,000 MT, 1,000 trucks of MT each of these important staples into Nigeria's food balance sheet. It will not only crash the price of rice, but also other closer food substitutes and alternatives." He called on Nigerians to remain steadfast and be patient with Mr. President as his numerous efforts to enhance food security will soon begin to pay off. The Director, Food and Strategic Reserve of the Ministry, Haruna Sule Abutu, outlined the procedure to buy the subsidized rice. He said, "To qualify for the one person, one bag, you must have the national identification number or, of course, your phone numbers. And those in public service are all registered under the Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System, IPPIS, platform. Once you have any of these three at the point of sale, with the NIN logged into the system, a code number and a treasury receipt will be generated. And with that, the buyer can get to the collection center and pick up his bag. The receipt will indicate time and point of collection to eliminate stampede." Secretary to the Federal Government, Senator George Akume, has said it is unacceptable for 2,776 people to be killed and 16,000 injured in road traffic crashes between January and July this year. Speaking yesterday in Abuja during the launch of the FRSC mobile app and National Crash Reporting Information System, he stated that between January and December last year, 5,081 people were killed while 31,000 were injured in road mishaps. Appraising the app, he said it was intended to raise awareness and sensitize both drivers and passengers on the potential causative factors of road traffic crashes. According to him, the app would aid emergency reporting, detecting black spots, issuing eyewitness reports, detecting excess speed, and alerting both drivers and passengers. Motorists could also use the app to verify when their license or vehicle papers expire, amongst other features and benefits of the app. On his part, the Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps, FRCS, Shehu Mohammed, said over the years, the FRSC has been active in formulating and implementing policies aimed at improving road administration and safety in the country. He explained that the FRSC mobile app is a software application that can be used on our phones to alert us on sensitive road safety issues through program features such as excessive speeding, dangerous driving, and verifying our vehicle documents, amongst others. Quoting him, "The proper application of these features is expected to drastically reduce injuries and fatalities resulting from road traffic crashes. In this area of technological advancement, FRSC cannot afford to lag behind. It is in the light of this call that the adaptation has been made to evolve its operations into the global network service system. The NACRIS is designed to promote a multi-sectoral approach to crash report data storage. Phase 2 of the project will focus on developing a digitalized crash data template based on inputs from Phase 1. Also speaking at the event, the Chairman House Committee on FRSC, Honorable Abiodun Adeshide, said with the new app and the ongoing efforts to amend the 2007 FRSC Act by the House Committee, the FRSC was advancing towards a 21st century standard in technology, ensuring enhanced road safety measures. The National Bureau of Statistics had earlier revealed that there were 22,000 traffic crashes in the second quarter of 2023. According to the NBS, the number represents a 8.56 increase from the previous quarter, totaling 21,733 crashes, but reflects a 9.60 decrease from the 26,000 crashes reported in 2022. As part of the move to tackle the food crisis, the federal government has announced a reduction in the price of rice. President Tinubu's government disclosed that civil servants will purchase 50 kg bags of rice for 40,000 naira. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, made this announcement on Thursday during the launch of the sales of the 50 kg rice in Abuja. Federal government, led by President Bola Tinubu, has initiated the sale of subsidized milled rice to alleviate the ongoing food crisis in the country. But on Thursday, which is the 5th of September, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, launched the sales of the 50 kg rice in Abuja. As reported by news outlets, the subsidized rice will be sold at 4 naira per bag, with a limit to one person per bag. The launch on Thursday was intended for public servants. Still on the federal government, it is said that 42,000 metric tons of food items has been distributed to 611,000 flood victims in 29 states of the Federation. The food distribution followed President Bola Tinubu's directive to the National Emergency Management Agency, which is NEMA. The agency announced this at a Strategic Communications and Interagency Policy Committee joint briefing organized by the Office of the National Security Advisor yesterday in Abuja. The President had directed the distribution of relief materials to vulnerable Nigerians across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Speaking at the headquarters of the Nigerian Customs Service, the agency's spokesperson, Abdullahi Maiwada, a chief superintendent of customs, said flood had caused the deaths of 201 persons, injuring 2,119 persons, and damaging 83,000 houses. You're watching Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be back after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Government and Public Reports on Atlantic Television. Now to the rest of our stories. 2023 People's Democratic Party PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has said the founder of the Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has demonstrated his tenacity and can-do spirit. Atiku made the remark while commending the businessman for the commencement of the Dangote refinery. A few days ago, Dangote had said his refinery was ready to commence the production of PMS, which is Premium Motor Spirit, or known as petrol. Dangote also disclosed that the pricing of petrol products from the refinery would be done by the Federal Executive Council, which is the FEC. However, Atiku said Dangote has shown what corporate Nigeria can do to recover the country's economy and make it strong. Posting on X, Atiku wrote, "Let me congratulate and appreciate the efforts of Alhaji Aliko Dangote. As the Dangote refinery begins production of PMS, it demonstrates his tenacity and spirit and his belief in his fatherland. This remarkable accomplishment is beyond a demonstration of the businessman's acumen of just one man. It is also a manifestation of what corporate Nigeria can do to recover the Nigerian economy and make it strong, dynamic, and resilient. This resonates with my dream of having an enlarged private sector presence in the Nigerian economy. I am an unrepentant advocate for a strong and visible participation of the private sector in strategic sectors of the country, either alone or in partnership with the state." The Lagos State House of Assembly has amended the State Appropriation Law of 2024 that has a size of 2 trillion naira. The reordering followed a letter dated August 9, 2024 and sent to the House of State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu. It was gathered that the reordering became necessary following rising inflation and the need to meet the unexpected requirements, as well as pressing basic infrastructure to the residents. The House at the plenary yesterday gave the approval after the chairman of the Committee on Economic Planning and Budget, Lukman Olumo, presented the report and recommendations of the committee, which were adopted as the resolution of the House. Though the total budget size remains the same, the recurrent expenditure was reduced from 952 billion naira to the original budget of 935 billion naira, while the capital expenditure was increased from 1 trillion naira to 1.3 trillion following the reordering. Speaker of the House, Madashiru Obasa, who announced to his colleagues after a unanimous vote in favor, said a bill for a law to authorize the issuance and appropriation of 935 billion naira from the Consolidated Revenue Fund for recurrent expenditure and 1 trillion from the Development Fund for capital expenditure, thereby totaling a revised budget size of 2.2 trillion naira for the year ending 31st December 2024 be passed into law. Obasa thereafter directed the clerk of the House, Barrister Olalekan Onafeko, to forward a clean copy of the bills to the governor for his assent. The NNPCL said the recent hike in the pump price of PMS, which is petrol, was influenced by foreign exchange and unrestricted free market forces. According to a statement by the NNPCL spokesperson, Olufemi, the executive vice president of downstream of the company, Adedapo Shegun, disclosed this while speaking on news outlets to journalists' hangouts on Thursday. His comments come as Nigerians groan over the latest price hike of petrol by NNPC retail outlets from 855 to 897, while the product scarcity persists. Reacting, Shegun explained that the current fuel scarcity was expected to subside in a few days as more stations recalibrate and begin selling PMS. He stressed that Section 205 of the Petroleum Industry Act, which established NNPC Limited, stipulated that petroleum prices were determined by unrestricted free market forces. According to him, the market has been deregulated, meaning that petrol prices are now determined by market forces rather than by the government or NNPC Limited. Additionally, the exchange rate plays a significant role in influencing these prices. Meanwhile, the recent fuel has been rejected by the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, which called for its immediate reversal of the fuel hike. President Bola Tinubu's Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Henneken Lokbobiri, has disclosed that the current fuel scarcity across the country will be over by the weekend, adding that the government is not fixing the price of the commodity. According to Lokbobiri, the president is deeply concerned about the hardship faced by Nigerians due to the current fuel situation. To address this, a meeting was held with Vice President Kashim Shettima to discuss the issue. The minister adds that the government wants to reassure the public that there is sufficient fuel supply in the country. Products are expected to be available nationwide by the weekend. Lokbobiri states that prices vary in different regions. According to him, the government believes that once distribution stabilizes, prices will be regulated naturally. He stressed that it's important to note that the government is not fixing prices as the sector is regulated. His statement reads in part, "There is no need for panic buying. Our supply is adequate. Our primary message to Nigerians is that we are working hard to ensure that the situation normalizes quickly and prices will stabilize as product availability improves. Nigerians have been experiencing a scarcity of fuel following the sudden increase in the price of commodity across the country. Nigerians faced a sudden increase in fuel prices on Tuesday, September 3rd. Pump prices rose from around 600 naira to 1,200 naira, depending on the location. President Bola Tinubu administration may be due to experience a nationwide protest following the sudden increase in the prices of fuel. Some Nigerians have taken to the streets to register their displeasure about the new increase in fuel prices across the country. Also, in some parts of the country, protests have emerged in some states following the adjustment of the commodities pump prices to an all-time high of 1,200 in the affected areas. Justice Dende Diepolu of the Federal High Court in Lagos have scheduled September 12th for hearing all applications related to the forfeited assets and funds linked to Mr. Godwin Ifeanyi Emefiele, former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The forfeiture order was granted after submissions by Rotimi Oyedepo, who represented the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, alongside Chineye Okezie and Zinat Atiku Bala. The properties subject to forfeiture include 2 fully detached duplexes at number 17 Habib Odomosho Street, Lekki Phase 1, Lagos, an undeveloped land of a lot of square meters at Olayinka Abayomi Drive, which is former Kings Drive in Ikoyi, Lagos. A bungalow at number 65 Oyinka Abayomi Drive, Ikoyi, Lagos. A 4-bedroom duplex at 12A Probin Road, Ikoyi, and an industrial complex under construction on a 22-plot land in Agbo, Delta State. Also, 8 units of an apartment on a 2,457.60 square meter plot at number 8 Adekunle Lawal Road, Ikoyi. A full duplex on a 217.87 square meter at 2A Bank Road, Ikoyi, Lagos State. 2 shares of Queensdorf Global Fund Limited Trust belonging to Emefiele. Justice Aluko also directed the EFCC to publish the forfeiture orders in a widely circulated national newspaper within 14 days to allow any interested parties to contest the forfeiture. At yesterday's court session, Bilikisu Buhari Bala appeared for the EFCC, while Olalekan Ojo and A. Labibi Lawal represented Emefiele. appeared for the occupants of the property of 8A Adekunle Lawal Road, Ikoyi. Ms. Buhari Bala informed the court that the hearing was scheduled to address compliance with the 15 orders. She reported that the EFCC had published the forfeiture orders in newspapers on August 28, 2024. She also noted that the EFCC had received 2 processes from Emefiele, which were not yet ripe for hearing, and requested a short adjournment to respond to Emefiele's application. In response, Mr. Ojo argued that the process filed by Emefiele aimed to halt further proceedings in forfeiture suit. He stated that the law requires the court to address the main forfeiture issue before proceeding with other matters. Ojo requested adjournment on Monday to allow the address of his client's application. Justice Dipo-Olu adjourned the matter to September 12th for the hearing of all applications related to the sale of Emefiele's forfeited properties. Federal government has issued a critical warning of 5 days of heavy rainfall, predicting potential flooding across 21 states and 123 locations. Communities downstream of the river Benue, particularly from Makurdi, are urged to evacuate due to rising water levels from the forecast, spanning from September 4th to 8th, 2024. Highlights the urgent need for residents in affected areas to take precautionary measures. Federal government has issued a stark warning, the forecasting of 5 days heavy rainfall that could lead to significant flooding across 21 states and 123 locations. The alert obtained by the National Flood Early Warning System Center of the Federal Ministry of Environment underscores the urgency of communities, particularly those in downstream of River Benue, to evacuate immediately. The forecast, which spans from September 4th to 8th, 2024, highlights the potential for severe weather conditions that could disrupt daily life and pose serious risk to affected areas. The states identified include Adamawa, Benue, Bauchi, Kogi, Borno, Nasarawa, Gombe, Kwara, Jigawa, Oyo, Kaduna, Edo, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Plateau, Niger, Sokoto, Taraba, Yobe, and Zamfara in Adamawa State. Locations such as Mubi, Shelang, and Demsa are on high alert. Similarly, Benue State's Makurdi, Otukpo, and Bajimba are amongst the areas expected to experience heavy downpours. This warning extends to Bauchi State's Azari and Jamari, Kogi State's Ida and Ajaokuta, and Borno State's Maiduguri and Biu. The Ministry of Environment has emphasized urging communities downstream from Makurdi to relocate to safer areas. The forecast comes as part of a broader effort by the government to mitigate the impacts of climate change weather events. The authorities are working closely with local government and agency services to ensure that adequate measures are in place to protect lives and property. This is as the nation braces for this period of intense rainfall. The federal government's proactive stance aims to minimize the potential devastation and safeguard vulnerable communities. Reports earlier from the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has forecasted rainy and thundery weather conditions across various parts of the country from Wednesday to Friday. In a weather update released on Tuesday, September the 3rd in Abuja, NIMET predicted morning thunderstorms in parts of Borno, Jigawa, Yobe, Adamawa, Taraba, Kano, Katsina, Zamfara, Kebbi, and Sokoto states on Wednesday, September 4th. Finally, Nigeria's local currency hit a downward slide and worsened yesterday as the Naira exchanged for 1,000 to a dollar at the official rate. The figure yesterday indicated a whooping loss of 34 Naira after the dollar exchanged for 1,606 Naira the previous day, according to the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, NAFEM. Rates also in the black market rates also dipped yesterday as the Naira lost 5 Naira against the dollar, exchanging at 1,645 Naira per dollar as against 1,640 Naira the previous day for a dollar. And this is where we wrap it up on this edition of Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network in the great city of Port Harcourt. I am King David Obasi, thanking you for staying connected with us so far. Continue with us on our socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV/net, or just live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Up next is the International Tidbits. Take us.